And you probably never had anybody apologize to you. You ain't never had nobody treat you with care and kindness and consideration. So you out here being a motherfucking villain. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound podcast, where we center the stories of Black women as we heal from the painful relationships with our mothers. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Arnice. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. Whatever day it is you're listening to this, I'm glad that you are here. We are 1 week closer to it being the end of the freaking year. 2025 is a wrap. And I hope that you take an assessment, and I want you to find at least 5 things to congratulate yourself for. Because I know y'all on here saying this ain't good enough. I still got to do this. I ain't do this good enough. No, I want you to find 5 things to toot your own horn about. I want you to write them down, and I want you to congratulate yourself and your inner little girl on whatever that success was for y'all. It don't have to be a success for anybody else. As long as it's a success for you, you know how far you came. Okay. If you paid your bill on time, if you paid your bills on time this year, that's a success. If you just paid the bill at all, even if it was late because you used to couldn't pay that bitch, that's a success. So count it all joy. Okay. Housekeeping. Please continue, and I appreciate y'all, continue to leave 5-star reviews on Apple, Spotify. Okay. Please continue to leave your comments on YouTube. Please continue to like, subscribe, comment, and share on YouTube. I appreciate it. We are on our path to 1,000 reviews by the end of the year, and we don't have a lot of time left. Okay. All right. The last item is Resolve launches. I know I have changed the date twice. Bear with me. This is, again, I'm just showing y'all, do what's best for you. You can change your mind. Class starts January 4th. I was going to start classes in December, but people have a lot going on, including me. But I've heard from y'all, it's like, I don't know, end of year, coming out of Thanksgiving, going into Christmas, all that type of shit. So classes start January 4th. There is a link in the show notes and the show description that takes you to the wait list. So you'll be notified when the doors open. By the time you watch this, the link might take you straight to the page so you can see it, see what it's all about, and check it out. 6 weeks live with me and a phenomenal group of other women who are committed to their own healing. It'd be so good. Like, imagine starting your year off committing to yourself and learning tools that you can take with you all year. I mean, it really don't get no better than that. New year, new you, boo. Okay. So now that we have that out of the way, on to today's topic. And I'm continuing with questions from the audience. And today we're talking about inner child healing and emotional identity. And this is really all about how we sever that energetic umbilical cord that we have to our mothers so we can start to make choices based off of the life that we want, who we really are, instead of living in her shadow. And this is a big one because oftentimes we don't even realize that we've turned into the villain in our own life and that we are reenacting a lot of the same behaviors that our mothers have, shown towards us. Many of us don't even get it until we become parents. And then we see how we showing out with our own damn kids and we like, oh, I need to tighten the fuck up. Where did I start learning to do that? And you realize how hard it is. It's hard to change behavior. It is so hard to do things differently, to think differently, to respond differently when you have been conditioned for so long from a place of survival and self-abandonment. And for you to change that, it's hard as fuck. I'm going to tell you. Okay. But we're going to talk about it more today. So let's jump right in. First question. How does ignoring our mother wound make us ignore our inner little girl? So when you ignore your mother wound, you're saying, how does it make us ignore her? It makes you abandon her. It makes you treat her how your mother treated you. That's what it does. When you ignore your mother wound, it's like imagine having a child come to you and they say, somebody hurt me. They hurt me. An adult hurt me, not another kid on the playground, but an adult hurt me over and over again. And you look at that child and you say, you be all right. It wasn't that bad. It was even worse for me. Well, it's not happening anymore, so you'll be okay. That's what you're doing because the repair has to be made to your inner little girl. So there's no way you can repair her heart if you're ignoring your mother wound, okay? Because you're in effect ignoring yourself. And repairing that inner little girl means establishing safety for her because she is the one who is running your life. Her fear is running your life. Her anxiety is running your life. Her rage, her frustration, her fear is what's running your life. So when you ignore your mother wound, she's a wild motherfucking banshee out this bitch showing out. Even if on the surface you seem so well put together and got it all in order, below the surface, that girl's showing out. And it's going to continue to happen until you deal with what hurts you, which means decentering the relationship with your mother and centering the relationship with yourself, which includes your inner little girl. Okay. Question number 2, how do I teach my inner child what love feels like if I never experience real love? Reading that out loud makes me want to cry because I know that this right here has impacted all of us. And just the reality, the grief of it, that I've never had real love. So now here you got me trying to love myself. And this is what you do. You have to become a good listener. When you are in your body, when you are still, stop numbing yourself. Stop numbing yourself with relationships. Stop numbing yourself with TV, entertainment, social media. Stop numbing yourself with food, with weed, with alcohol, with hanging out. Stop numbing yourself with education. I see y'all out there. Y'all addicted to getting them degrees and certifications. Stop numbing yourself with work and your career. Stop numbing yourself with taking care of everybody around you. Stop numbing yourself with being a good parent. Stop numbing yourself with being a good friend. All of these things you're using to numb yourself, to drown out your inner little girl telling you what it is that she needs to be loved. That's what you have to do. And you have to create a pattern of being able to sit still and stop all the doing so whatever she needs can come to the surface. And what comes to the surface in the beginning are going to be a lot of hard emotions. And that's what you're trying to avoid. But she is calling out for someone. So in the beginning, your role is going to be how to console her, how to apologize to her, how to let her know that you will never let anybody hurt her again. Because true love is safety. True love is not bubble baths and outfits and your nails done. That's the cherry on top. True love is safety, care, and consideration. How much do you consider her when you're making decisions? That's how you love her. When your family members or somebody calls you and say, girl, can you do this? Can you come here and give me this or get this or help me with this? And your inner little girl, she says, I don't want to go over there with them. I don't like them. I don't trust them. And you disregard how she feels and you go and do that dumb shit, that's the opposite of showing her that you love her. So to love her means to consider her. To love her means to prioritize her. But you first have to remove all the barriers that you've created that you think make you look like a good person, so nobody knows how abusive you are to yourself. That's how you begin to love yourself. And then you got to get out of your head about never really being loved before. You're going to have to get past that because old girl didn't know what she was doing. And yeah, we wish that she would have, but she didn't. So now it's up to you. And the more you give that to yourself, the more you will attract it in other people. And then you will also think less about what your mother didn't give you because you've started to build your own community and your own village. Okay. Question number 3. How do I stop behaving like my mother, being harsh or rude in my own marriage? This is probably learned behavior, right? I'm going to refer you back to those first 2. You need to start sitting down and dealing with the emotions that you have, the fear you have, the anxiety that you have, the lack of trust that you have in people, the feeling that you believe that a motherfucker is going to leave you and do you wrong. And you got to make sure that you are protected. All of that is fear. So you're going to have to get consistently still and start to deal with what all of those emotions are. You're going to have to go to the root. A lot of y'all don't want to go to the root. You want me to give you an easy answer without you going to the beginning, because some of y'all will realize you might not even be in the right marriage. If you go back to the beginning, you'll realize I ain't even supposed to be with this nigga. Okay. So you have to, and I always say this, if you're going to do this work, shit falls apart a lot of times before it comes back together. And you've got to be okay with that because you have decided to prioritize yourself first, not the relationships with other people. You have decided to prioritize yourself first. Everybody else be damned. And that's really what this takes, because nobody else knows how to even love you or be with you, because the way you show up, how can anybody know how to properly love you? Because you're not properly loving yourself. So you have to get to that point first. Okay. So that's how you stop behaving like her. You're going to have to heal your mother wound, because you're not only behaving like that in your marriage, you're being rude and harsh to yourself. You're being rude and harsh all throughout your day. It ain't just him. Okay. So that is just the biggest example, because you are probably getting some feedback that they don't like how you're behaving. And you probably never had anybody apologize to you. You ain't never had nobody treat you with care and kindness and consideration. So you out here being a motherfucking villain. But you've got to go back to that inner little girl. That's what you have to go back to. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. I know that's what you want to ask. Well, how long is it going to take, girl? It's going to take however long it's going to take. And just get used to apologizing. Get used to, okay, do I need to say that? Get used to getting up in the morning and spending time with yourself so you can get settled in. So you can start having honest conversations about the things that concern you. Right? Because it doesn't mean you can't have difficult conversations, or that other person might not be wrong sometimes. But you first need to get settled in with yourself first thing in the morning before you're engaging with others. How are you taking care of yourself first thing in the morning so you have something to give, so you're not always on edge? You're going to have to do a real audit and assessment of how you manage your whole life, because being rude or harsh is just the fruit. It's not the root. And you're going to have to go to the root if you want to change that behavior permanently and consistently, not just from a performative space. Okay. And our fourth and final question is, how do I stop repeating my mother's emotional patterns of overworking and self-sacrifice? So you can replace the words overworking and self-sacrifice with harsh, with rude. You can replace them with anything. It's all going to be the same answer. reparenting your inner little girl so that she has her own identity, because she has picked up the mother's identity. And why shouldn't she? That's the woman she loves most in the world. That's the woman that she has looked up to, that she has pedestalized. And this is also what happens when we see overworking and self-sacrifice. There's usually a reward with that. So it's like something good has come out of that. So how do I get the same result that I want, but from a different approach? And we're so afraid because we think this is the only way. You're also probably struggling with your own self-worth and how you see yourself as valuable, because you think your value is in all the things that you do, all the things that you give, all the ways that you provide. And without you doing those things, you start to get real scared that people ain't gonna stick around, that do they even like me? Do they really care about me? Because you don't feel like anybody should love you or care about you, because you probably think you're a horrible person because my mother didn't love me. So it must have been something I did wrong. And none of that is the case. That is where that reparenting work comes in, where you have to come back and reprogram that little girl's identity. And it takes time. And if you're listening, all of the answers to these questions, they build off of one another, right? So if you know you're overworking and you are self-sacrificing, i.e. self-abandoning, i.e. abusing yourself emotionally and mentally and probably physically, that's how I need you to call it out for what it is. Okay? Because overworking and self-sacrifice makes you sound like such a martyr, such a good person. Yeah, you might be a good person to other people, but you's a whole bitch to yourself. And I need you to get very clear that you're a real bitch to yourself, that you don't really treat yourself like you matter. But I bet you want other people too. So you need to sit down and really think about, why am I overworking like this? Why am I sacrificing myself? Why am I doing it? Is it a habit? I've always done it. Well, if you want to break a habit, you got to start a new habit. Am I afraid of being alone? Why are you afraid of being alone? What's going to happen if you are alone? I'm afraid these people don't really like me or care about me. Why would you be around people who don't care about you or like you or want you to be happy in the ways that you want them to be happy? Oh, I don't think I deserve it. Ah, okay. Now your inner little girl is answering, because when you talk to her, she's going to give you very simple responses. Very simple. Oh, I don't deserve it. Your job is not then to decide, well, why don't you think you deserve it? We already know why. We're not getting there. That's not what you're here for, because remember, you're talking to a little girl. So when a child comes to you and you're hurt, your job is to console. You don't feel worthy of it. Guess what? I'm so sorry that you feel that way. Period. That's what you go into. I'm so sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry my mother made you feel that way. I'm sorry these other people made you feel that way. And I'm sorry that I have made you feel that way. Can you ever forgive me for allowing it? Can you ever forgive me? And then you reassure her that you are committed to making different choices. And then you show up making those choices, and you keep in contact with her, and you check in and say, did I do better that time? Did you feel more considered that time? Did I do what was right for you in that situation? You ask her, what should we do? What will make you feel happy if we make this decision? And it's going to be hard, because you're going to be fighting against the expectation you set with other people versus the relationship you're building with old girl inside of you. And you're going to have to stand on that. Otherwise, she's not going to believe you. She's not going to trust you. And why should she? So that is how you stop repeating the patterns. And it doesn't matter what activity you put in here, whether it's being harsh, rude, overworking. It doesn't matter. You can take out a word and put another word in. The answer is going to be the same. it's going to be the same answer, right? So these questions are really important because I think a lot of you still think that your situation is unique, and it is not. Okay. This is a societal, cultural experience that we're having. That's why when I say stuff and it relates to y'all, y'all be like, oh my God, you're saying exactly what I've been through, because it's a singular experience that we're having, and there are nuances to it. But the more you understand that it's not a you thing, the easier it is for you to depersonalize the treatment and for you to be like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not the outcast. I'm not making it up. I'm not exaggerating. I don't have to deal with this. Oh, there are no answers. I've got to figure this out by myself alone. Oh, I'm always going to be in this situation. You start to realize, oh, this is like learning how to drive a car. You can go from not knowing how to drive to drive. With practice, it is the same way. What I'm teaching you all are skill sets, and y'all a very smart group. So I know y'all know how to learn shit. That's why my best students and my best clients, y'all is the biggest nerds, because I know y'all know how to learn. You know how to study. You know how to implement, but you're just used to doing it in an area that's not as emotionally charged and vulnerable and scary as something like this. And there's shame associated with it. But the more you all understand that other people are having these experiences, that should help the shame subside. And as the shame subsides, you are able to see it from a different perspective, because you don't see it from being broken. You see it from the perspective of, oh, I just don't know how to do this, but I have the ability to learn. Okay. That's what I think is really important and what I want y'all to understand. That's what I have for y'all today. I love that y'all are sending in questions. Continue to do so. Please continue to send in questions. I'm going to keep this up next week with our next theme of what you all want to talk about. I appreciate y'all. Take care of yourself. Don't let nobody play in your face. Don't let the holidays and family and people at work and mass consumerism get you fucked up and play you out your position of peace this season as we end 2025 and move into 2026. I hope to see you in Resolve Evolved in January. It starts January 4th. It's going to be so good. And I would love to see you. 6 weeks live with me is life-changing, child. You have no idea. There's a link in the bio. There's a link in the show notes. And you can just click there and you'll be notified when the doors open. So I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Bye. Love you.